We're very deeply in Sefer Bereshis and the Parshas of the Avos. In fact, we're already on the tail end of those Parshot. So no better time than now to examine a little bit the lives of the Avos. We all want and pray for great children. Well, the truth is, we don't just have to pray for great children. Sometimes we have to be great children ourselves. We have to be children of the Avos, children of Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, the greatest men that ever walked the face of this earth. There are infinite lessons to be learned from each and every step of the lives of the Avos. Just to give an example, Yisrael Salanter once watched his Rabbi, Reb Zundela, do something. And he said afterwards, the Reb Zundela just was Mekayim, a Rambam, a Ravid, and a Rambam. He just fulfilled a Rambam and a Ravid and a Rambam. In the small action that Reb Zundela had done, his eager Talmud, Rabbi Salanter, realized that he wasn't just doing some simple action. He was fulfilling some words of the Rambam, then some words of the Ravid, and then some words of the Rambam. If that was Reb Zundel, imagine going back to the Gra, and imagine going back to the Rambam himself, and imagine going back to Ravina, and another set of generations to Rabbi Akiva, Shmuel and Abi, and then finally to the Avos. Incredible. Every one of their actions is something we can live our life by. But in our little session of being children to the Avos, we're going to focus on klalim, general principles, general yisodot that we see not in lives of one specific story or even one specific av, but something that was a general practice and a general way that all of the Avos, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov did, and something that's their heritage to us. So we're looking for klalim. And in general, a person in life has to look for klalim. Chazal say, La'olam yehei divrei Torah klalim biyadecha. In one klal, there's so many details. Infinite details many times, and by capturing the klal, capturing the yesod, capturing that fundamental point, all the details have mashmaut, make sense, and flow out of it. So here's number one. The Mishnah of us says there are Asara Doris mi Adam ad Noach, and Asara more mi Noach ad Abraham. Parakeh. The very next Mishnah says Asara Nisyonos Nisnasa Avram Avinu alav Shalom va'amad bekulam lodia kama chibato shel Avram Avinu lefnei makom. What's the difference in the way Avram is referred to? The point of the two Mishnayos is obviously very different. But what's the difference in the way Avram is referred to? Let's look again. The first Mishnah says there were 10 generations from Noach until Avram. The second says there were 10 Nisyonot shenit naseh Avram Avinu. Well, why in the second Mishnah is Avram referred to as Avram Avinu more than the first Mishnah? So asks the Ruach Chaim. And his answer is something which is a tremendous klal for us to focus on and to know about ourselves. He brings the pasuk, Holech b'tum tzaddik, ashrei banav acharav. The tzaddik goes in his pure way, his sons are lucky after. What does that mean? Says Reb Chaim Volozhner, Kama midos shet tzaddik tarach v'yagea lasigam. He worked tremendously hard to get them. Lebanav acharav, his children after them, hein keteva mutpa. They become second nature. Ubiktsat avodah, just with a little bit of effort they can get it. The father works hard and he creates a spiritual nature, which then he bequeaths to the son. What makes it that a Jew says, with all the difficulties, and what makes it with the Jewish people, with all the difficulties we've suffered, still able to say, Kol man da'avad HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'tav, everything God does is for the good? Why is it that a bunch of secular Jews in Odessa wake up in the 1800s and say, you know what, we should go to Israel? And finally, what was the inner koach, the inner strength of the Jewish people to be Moser Nefesh, to give up their lives and the lives of their children, not to fall to any other religion? Where did those amazing kochas come from? What was that? That was from the Nisyonot of Amra Avinu. He comes to Eretz Yisrael, leaves his home at 75, and then famine, and he has to leave. Did he question God's ways? He said, Kol man da'avad HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'tav avid. He came to Eretz Yisrael, and he, of course, gave up his own life. He was ready to give up his own life to Nimrod and Or Kasdim, and he was ready to give up the life of his son. Those then become the spiritual nature that he bequeathed to us. Now, it's so obvious the difference in the two Mishnayos. In the first Mishnah, 10 generations from Noach till Avram. We're just talking about Avram as the historical figure. But when we talk about his nisyonot, his challenges, his trials, his tribulations, in those he's Avram Avinu. Because he was our father, just like a father gives a nature over to a son, Avram Avinu gave a nature over to us. And of course, this is true not just about our father Avram, it's true about our father Yitzchak, and it's true about our father Yaakov. What does this mean to us? You know what it means? If you feel special, it's because you are. Everybody wants to know their strengths. Everybody wants to know what they're made of. What can I accomplish? When we want to know that, we have to look no further than the Avot. When we read Bereshis, we have to know it's a story of our lives. It's a story of our potential. We have to work hard to get there, but this is our spiritual reality. Their spiritual reality is our spiritual heritage. Bezrat Hashem, that's the first klal which we have to focus on. To be true children of the Avot. To know what our fathers gave over to us.